We are close to the end of 2022, but it's been 10 months since Russia invaded Ukraine. Even after witnessing defeat in 3 Ukrainian cities, Russian President Vladimir Putin is not ready to back out. So how far will this go? Well, NATO believes that Russia is all prepared for a long, grinding war and warns that the Russian president should not be underestimated. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg warned that there is no sign that Moscow has given up its overall goal of controlling Ukraine.
So we should not underestimate Russia. Russia is planning for a long war, and actually we also see that they are trying to, after have lost the momentum for some months, they are now trying to regroup, to repair, to enable them to launch new offensives.
And in response to its setbacks on the battlefield, Moscow has unleashed waves of missile and drone strikes against Ukraine's civilian energy infrastructure. U.S. reports say Washington is finalizing plans to send its most advanced Patriot missile batteries to Ukraine to add to other Western air defense systems provided to Kyiv. Ukraine's demands for more weapons and a huge flow of ammunition have drained the stockpiles of NATO members and sparked fears to the alliance's defense industries that they may not be able to produce enough.
So if we want a negotiated solution that ensures that Ukraine prevails as a sovereign independent nation, the best way, the fastest way to achieve that is to support them militarily. So President Putin understands that he cannot win on the battlefield, but has to sit down and negotiate in good faith.
As the West is vowing to support Kyiv, Putin is seeking proposals from commanders of his armed forces on how they think Russia's military campaign in Ukraine should proceed. He spoke to the top commanders at the Russian military operations headquarters. Ukraine claims that Russia is preparing a fresh offensive against Kyiv early next year, but analysts doubt that Moscow can regenerate its battered forces for such a major operation within a short time frame. Ukraine's top commander says that the Russians are preparing some 200,000 fresh troops and feared that a major Russian attack could come in February, at best in March, and at worst at the end of January. That's next year. Ukraine has held out since February and turned the tide on Russia's invasion thanks to an influx of Western financial help and high-tech weaponry. Ukraine is meanwhile working to restore electricity and water supplies after Russia's latest wave of attacks that pitched multiple cities into darkness and forced people to endure sub-zero temperatures without heating or running water. In Kyiv, workers rushed to clear the streets of the heavy snow that blankets the streets. As the Ukrainian capital suffers from a series of power outages, residents seem to have learned to adapt, with portable generators running outside shops and many returning to less up-to-date forms of technology to keep themselves entertained during blackouts.
Сподіваємося, що все наладиться і все буде добре. А так, переживемо. Ми ж українці, сильна нація. То так і треба, значить. Все з усім справимося.
А генератори, да, на освітлення люди теж повинні бачити товар. А як без світла ви щось побачите в темряві? Не будете ж заходити з телефоном, підсвічувати, щось дивитися. Хочеться, щоб людям теж було хоч що на малость, так сказати, трошки легше з вибором.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.